Harper and Harper Audio present Broken Dolls by Malinenko. Performed by Renee Dorian. To Mom and Dad, I love you more. I miss you forever. Grief is a sword, or it is nothing. Paul Monet. 1. Kaye Prescott sat alone in the back seat of her mother's old Subaru, counting the fibers that had come loose from the driver's seat vinyl. As she did, she pressed the pad of her thumb to each finger, ticking them off one by one. She held her breath each third number and then exhaled again on the 7th. When she was finished counting those, she moved on to counting the letters in the word, arithmomania. For a word that meant the need to count things, it had a lot of letters to count. "Hey, you coming?" Kaye's mother asked, approaching the car and leaning through the open window, her arms resting on the edge. It was summer, and she smelled like sunscreen lotion. Her lean arms were already tan, and the bangle bracelets on her wrist clacked against the door. Kaye shifted her eyes to them. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 4 on each wrist. "Uncle Stan wants to say hi. How about it, Count Von Count?" Kaye didn't look at her mother's face. Ever since the diagnosis, her mother had started calling her Count Von Count, like the Sesame Street character. Ah. It might have been funny when she was 8, but this summer she was going to turn 12, and it became a lot less funny. "Come on, peanut butter," her mother urged. Kaye closed her eyes. That nickname wasn't any better. Peanut butter was what her grandfather had called her, when he could still call her anything. The memories came hard and fast. The gleam of the light off the casket. The hole worn in the rug of the funeral home. The way her neighbor, sitting quietly next to her, smelled too much like coffee. All these sensations whipped past like a deck of cards being shuffled. Kaye squeezed her eyes shut. She remembered how hard she'd cried at the funeral, and then how she'd cried even harder fighting with her mom because she refused to go to the cemetery. She couldn't watch him be lowered into the ground. Even now, the thought of it chilled her. Kaye shivered in the car. "Let's go," Kaye's mother said, pulling the car door open with a creak. Kaye climbed out. Her mom was so short that Kaye felt like she was gaining on her, and if it weren't for the way her mom's black hair was cut in a pixie, they would almost look like a matching set. Both of them stood on the driveway that led to her Uncle Stan's house. It was a big 2-story house. A fixer-upper, as he called it. Except it felt wrong to call it Uncle Stan's house. It was Grandpa's home. But now nothing was his anymore. "Hey, Kaye!" Her uncle called from the front lawn. He'd spread out a tarp and was preparing to scrape the old paint off the house and start a new coat. There were 7 cans of paint around him, set in a perfect circle. A wave of nausea hit Kaye. Everything was changing. Too fast. Too soon. "Come give your gunkle a hug." Kaye smiled a very small smile. Uncle Stan stood tall, much taller than her mother. His curly hair longer than the last time she had seen him. His beard still full. Her gunkle, as in gay uncle, was one of her favorite people, and the first person who Kaye came out to last summer when she realized she didn't just like boys. But as much as she wanted to run across the lawn and get scooped up in his big arms, she just stood there. Her sadness felt like a thing she couldn't shake. How could
Sample complete. Ready to continue?